What's up? This is Hdnews here, and of course, the reason why I was not able to upload since that coronavirus was, still going around. It's spreading a little more. But the thing I get to the reason is because whenever the weather changed from 50 to 30, and then back up to 60 or 70, and then back down to 45 to 40, that's usually when my sinuses kick in, and then I start getting phlegm in my lungs, and that's what I've been dealing with coughing for at least over a week. There was a lot of coughing at first, and then it just straight up turned to mucus, and quite literally, um, I could barely talk. I had a little bit of hay fever. It was congestion. It's horrible, and I'm not on medicine, but this happens every time the weather changes in this area. It's so unpredictable. Like we'll have summer weather in winter, and then once it gets cold, like really cold, like -1 degree earlier last week, um, that's where it caused phlegm to flare up, and where I got gaggy, and I couldn't technically. It's basically ruined my life. Basically, it is to the point where it's more aggressive compared to my acid reflux issue, and that it has been a part of my life longer than that thing, that acid thing in my life. It's been like for like decades, and since I had all these bleeds in my joints, and my mom's father was the same person with hemophilia, where if you got an injury, and since we didn't ever inherit a unhealthy clotting system for the blood, so instead of making factor VIII correctly, I don't. So my blood is always thin since I've been born, and it's just a hereditary defect in the family bloodline, and there's nothing we can do about it. And since I had all these joint bleeds and all these bleeds in certain areas, since that high pressure system has came in, it has made my joints, including my hips, where I can't even walk. It's like you're putting several needles in my joints, in my muscles where they are, and just imagine just having a scene heat. It's just really high pain levels, and I at the point where I could walk barely, trying to get around. It was like it was getting cold, and um, I will have the dryer. Just use that. I will have times where I'll have arthritis. I'm near 30, so I will have a lot more of those pains. But my mom's father was more unlucky because when he was in the coal mines and they didn't know about this illness, when the elevators apparently snapped and fell right on him, half his body was damaged. One side was bleeding, and then the rope, the chain, the belt basically went through his leg, and he made it through, but he had to be in a cast, and he always told me this, with a lot of blood transfusions and a lot of pain, and they even had to knock him out a lot when he had this really bad issue when he was in his 30s. And here I am near my 30-year age in about 2 years or less, actually less than 13 months. Technically, March 1st is my birthday, so that's just a couple weeks away. Then add another 12 months to that, I'll be 30. So, that's basically how close I am to that age group. And these pains in my arms have been going on longer than the pains in here, but these have been really painful in the joints and the legs, and there's nothing I can do. I had really bad complications with bleeding, and sometimes we didn't have the medicine ready where it was expired and we couldn't treat it. And sometimes the medicine would not work, and there'd be a hospital visit driving down to St. Louis with the factor in order to infuse me, since my mom can never stick me because my veins are really hard to get if you don't know me real well. You can't really, and even a couple months, like a year ago, they had a very hard time getting a vein going because every time they tried to inject it at home, over here, the vein exploded, and then we had no way to get the factor and all that in. To treat this face bleed, that has not happened since over a year. In order to treat that, because there's no Credo has no nurses here in this area who can actually find my veins and correctly stick them without going through 20 to 30 picks per hour or more. That's how bad it is with me. And that's how it was for one of those days in in January last year, where he literally missed so many veins, and there was a lot of pain. That's how I always been for every nurse who doesn't know how to hit these areas, because they're really hard. Even with hot water, it's impossible sometimes to get these veins to pop up and then get an IV in there. And I do have pain in one arm where they had to stick me around this area. You can tell right over there. And it hurted last week, but that was an uncomfortable spot where I didn't want to, but that's where I had to go in order to treat this face bleed. And there's more bleeds coming down the road, trust me. I can't guarantee if everyone will be the same, but hopefully I don't get them. I can't guarantee it. This is just part of having hemophilia. Your joints will ache. And there's nothing I can really do about it except for take pain medicine and try to get the weight off. And that's just how I am. My body has had so many complications with bleeds that when you get older like I am, it's hard to get around sometimes. And so thanks for watching. New to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, comment, like below, because it would really help me out a lot, because I've been battling this sinus for like a little over a week. I haven't taken my medicine, and finally it's been breaking up without antibiotics or steroids, luckily. One of the prayers from my coworkers did help in a lot of ways. And sometimes that would occur and would work perfectly. But sometimes I just gotta get on medicine to treat it. So, I mean, it's just how it is. The weather up here is so rapid changing. Just like we have 4 seasons in a month. And it causes everyone to have all this mucus production, and that's how my lungs work. They produce so much when this weather changes. So, yeah, it's the thing we need to work at, basically, try to improve to get this drainage really controlled, because it's really the highest health issue at the moment, how bad it is. And I'll see you later.